Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the NFL news cycle over the past few days, you've probably heard some whispers, some rumors, and maybe even some outright speculation about a potential blockbuster trade involving one of the league's most promising young cornerbacks. And trust me, what's being discussed right now might just be one of the most impactful moves for the Packers this season and beyond. We're talking about the possibility of Patrick Surtain. Yes, the Denver Broncos lockdown cornerback heading to Green Bay. Now, I know this might sound like a shocker at first, especially considering how highly regarded Surtain is across the league, but the whispers are growing louder, and the logic behind such a move makes a lot of sense for both teams involved. Let's break down what's really happening here. The Denver Broncos, sitting at 4-8 this season, have been underperforming and are clearly in rebuild mode. Their defense, which was supposed to be a strength, has been leaking points and big plays, giving up an average of around 27. 1 point per game, that's not exactly what you want when you're trying to compete in the league. The Broncos, led by head coach Sean Payton, are now focusing on a major cap restructuring, especially around their quarterback situation, aiming to free up roughly $20 million in cap space to rebuild their offense. According to NFL insider Diana Rossini, Denver is looking to shed some salary cap space, and part of that strategy involves trading away some high-value players, including Surtain, who is currently one of the league's top cornerbacks. Surtain, drafted in 2021, has quickly become one of the league's shutdown corners, a true coverage maestro. With over 200 tackles, 15 interceptions, and a career PFF grade of 98, he's consistently been a game-changer in the secondary. He's earned 3 Pro Bowl selections and was named an All-Pro in 2024, and his stats this season are nothing short of impressive. In 13 games, he's already logged 45 solo tackles, 20 assists, and 4 interceptions, returning one for an 82-yard touchdown. His coverage grade sits at an elite 91. 2, and his EPA per target is at an impressive -0. 26, meaning he limits explosive plays effectively. Surtain has also been a clutch performer. Week 7 saw him snag 2 interceptions and tally 7 tackles, all while dealing with a minor calf injury earlier in the season. His ability to shut down top receivers and make big plays in critical moments makes him an ideal fit for any team looking to bolster their secondary. Now here's where things get interesting for the Packers. Green Bay's secondary has been a mixed bag this season. While players like Jaire Alexander have been solid, the overall coverage efficiency has taken a hit, especially when it comes to preventing big plays. The Packers have struggled with big completions and turnovers allowed, which puts extra pressure on their defense to be opportunistic and disciplined. Adding Surtain to the fold would be a game-changer, according to NFL.com analysts. Surtain is viewed as a coverage maestro, someone who can lock down the opponent's best receiver consistently. His presence could immediately boost the Packers' secondary efficiency by around 20%, and based on projections, the interception numbers could increase by approximately 5, leading to a significant drop in opponents' points per game, potentially around 12 less. But why would Denver trade a player of Surtain's caliber? Well, the main reason is cap space and a rebuilding mindset. The Broncos are willing to part with Surtain, whose current cap hit is around $25 million, to acquire draft picks that can help them rebuild on the line and at edge rusher, addressing their most pressing needs. Denver is looking to shed some of that cap burden, similar to what the Jets did last year with veteran trades that carried over $15 million in cap space for their rebuild. It's all about strategic flexibility, and for the Broncos, trading Surtain makes sense if they believe they can get good value in return and focus on their long-term rebuild. For the Packers, this potential trade looks like a no-brainer. Imagine a defense that's already decent but could become a top-tier unit with Surtain's addition. His presence would elevate the secondary's overall performance, making it tougher for opponents to complete passes and forcing more turnovers. The numbers back this up. The projected impact on Green Bay's defense would be a plus 20% increase in coverage efficiency, with an extra 5 INTs added to their season total. Opposing teams' points per game would drop by around 12, which could be the difference between making the playoffs or missing out. Plus, Surtain's ability to make big plays in critical moments complements the Packers' aggressive style of defense, giving them an extra weapon to shut down high-powered offenses. And let's not forget the bigger picture here. In today's NFL, having a shutdown corner like Surtain can be the X factor that tilts the balance in tight games. His ability to limit the opponent's top receiver and create turnovers adds a whole new dimension to the Packers' defense. Think about the impact on their win-loss record. NFL data suggests that elite cornerbacks can add approximately 1.7 extra wins over a season, especially when combined with a solid pass rush and disciplined coverage. Surtain's presence could push the Packers closer to the top of the NFC North and give them a real shot at postseason success. When it comes to the Super Bowl picture, the stakes are high. Current odds for the Packers to win the title are around plus 1,200, but if they land a player like Surtain, those odds could tighten to plus 800, reflecting their increased chances. He could serve as a true X factor, an individual player capable of turning the tide against elite teams like the 49ers, who are currently favored at plus 600. But with Surtain's shutdown ability, the Packers could challenge those odds significantly. It's all about building a roster that can compete with the best in the league, and adding a player of Surtain's caliber is a statement move, signaling that Green Bay is serious about contending not just this year, but for the foreseeable future. Of course, there are questions. Will Denver be willing to part with such a key piece? How will Surtain adapt to the Packers' scheme? And what will it cost in draft capital? But the signs point to a trade that could be mutually beneficial. For Denver, it's a chance to reset their roster and focus on building for the future. For Green Bay, it's a chance to add a cornerstone piece to their defense, capable of elevating their entire team. Looking at the bigger picture, this trade could also set a precedent for how teams approach the second half of the season. The Packers have been in a competitive window, and bolstering their secondary with a player like Surtain could be the move that pushes them over the edge into serious Super Bowl contention. The NFL landscape is constantly evolving, and strategic moves like this are what separate playoff teams from championship contenders. The Packers, with their rich history of building tough, disciplined defenses, could be on the verge of adding another legendary chapter. As fans, we should be excited about the potential here. Surtain's addition would mean more big plays, more turnovers, and a defense that strikes fear into opponents. It's the kind of move that can energize the entire team and fan base, and it signals that Green Bay is still very much in the hunt for another Super Bowl title. So keep your eyes peeled, stay tuned for updates, and get ready to cheer even louder if this trade comes to fruition. Because if it does, it's going to be one of those moves that fans will talk about for years to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think Surtain's addition could be the move that finally gets us back to the Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the Packers. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come. Let's go, Pack.